Welcome to Theories of the Third Kind. My name is Aaron. The other host joining me today is Danielson.
Hello.
Now, before we start today's episode, we do have a couple of announcements to make.
If you would like to support the show, you can do so by joining our premium subscription service, Supercast. For just $6.66 a month, you can enjoy weekly premium audio episodes and access to our entire back catalog of over 270 plus episodes that are all ad-free.
Or if you're a big baller and you want to spend a little extra change, then you can sign up to our premium video service, which is only $9.99. And you get access not only to our premium audio episodes each week, but to our premium video episodes as well. And you can sign up to that by going to our website, theoriesofthethirdkind.com. Right there in the middle is going to be a button that says Supercast. You click on it, it will take you over to that website. It takes you 30 seconds to sign up. Super easy to do, super easy to use if you want.
Now, we know things are tough out there right now, so if you can't afford a premium membership, but you still want to help us out, you can do so by leaving us a written review on iTunes or Spotify.
That helps us out a lot.
However, don't feel pressure to leave us one. If you don't want to, then that's fine. We just want you guys, girls, aliens, reptilians, Bigfoot, Sasquatches, chupacabras, ghosts, Illuminati members, underground lizard people, whoever, whatever you are, to enjoy the show. Also remember, this episode is entirely human-made. No AI were used or harmed in the process, other than for the base graphic template.
And that is the end of the announcements. All right, so just a heads up, we have been up for over 50 hours now, and we have over 35 pages of research into this topic. And I know what some of you may be thinking. You have previously done this episode, and that's correct, but all of our information is new because of what happened. So like I said, we originally did an episode over Isaac Kappy back in 2020, and we released it as a premium episode that only supporters got access to. Now that that was 5 years ago, and we figured it would be a good time to redo this episode with newer information and release it to everyone for free. However, upon redoing this episode, we ran into some very weird roadblocks. For example, we do all of our research on Google Documents, and we save all of our research in case we need to reference it later on. Now, when we tried to find all of our research that we did on Isaac Kappy back in 2020, we learned that Google had deleted those documents. Also, we had a separate document for the video references that we used in that episode. However, Google did not delete that document. However, almost every single Isaac Kappy video that we referenced that was on that document, YouTube ended up deleting those videos. But we were able to find some of those videos, but not all of them. So needless to say, those were some strange things that we stumbled upon while deciding to redo this topic. Now, there was something else that I wanted to announce before we start this episode, is that on this podcast, we do not cover religion and we don't cover politics, simply because we believe that it divides the people. However, on some of the episodes that we do cover, there are some political aspects to it. So with that being said, I just want to say this. Our political affiliations do not matter. We are not right-leaning. We are not left-leaning. We are for the power of the people. And our purpose on this podcast is to tell you the truth about whatever is going on, regardless of where that truth leads us. So now that we have made that clear, let's jump into today's episode and discuss who Isaac Kappy was, the claims he made, his death, strange facts and findings, and the theories surrounding him. So Dan, can you start that off for us?
So Isaac Kappy was born on February 17, 1977, in Albuquerque, New Mexico, to Glenn and Wendy Kappy. At an early age, Isaac sang in choirs, he fell in love with music, and quickly learned that he was very talented in that area.
For example, at only 9 years old, he was considered a prodigy in playing the viola, which, by the way, a viola is very similar to the violin. It's just a little bit larger. That's what she said. Anyway, so when Isaac became a teenager, his interests expanded from music to theater.
He began performing in school plays and video projects with friends. And after graduating high school, Isaac briefly attended college.
He went to the University of Arizona on a viola scholarship, and then he would transfer to the University of New Mexico, where he ultimately graduated.
Eventually, in 2005, at the age of 28, Isaac decided to chase his dreams of becoming an actor. So he packed all of his stuff up, drove west to Hollywood, California.
However, this move to Hollywood would set the stage for a series of events that would lead Isaac down a path that was stranger and darker than he could ever imagine.
So upon arriving in California, Isaac threw himself into the entertainment scene. He began going to multiple auditions, random jam sessions, and Hollywood house parties.
His warm personality helped him rub shoulders with TV and movie stars and started to become friends with many of them. For example, he became very good friends with actor and producer Seth Green. And it was through these connections that Isaac was able to land his first acting gig.
He was a hustler in the 2006 comedy movie Beer Fest. Now, this was a minor role, but for Isaac, it was a foot in the door. He had officially broken into acting. Over the next few years, Isaac slowly built a resume of small roles in movies and TV shows.
In 2009, he had a brief appearance in the TV show Breaking Bad. He also had small roles in the 2009 movies Fanboys and Terminator Salvation, and in the 2011 film Thor.
These roles were small, brief appearances. However, it placed Isaac alongside some big name productions and A-list movie and TV stars. And on the movie and TV sets, Isaac was considered professional, but not widely recognized.
Now, even though he was not a household name in Hollywood, Isaac Kappy earned a reputation in certain Hollywood circles as a likable person. He would often attend parties that A-list celebrities would host.
However, even with all his connections, by 2016, his acting gigs had dried up. The small movie and TV parts stopped coming, and Isaac found himself as an out-of-work actor.
Now, it was around this time that his interests took a sharp turn. Isaac was about to reinvent himself from a struggling actor to a whistleblower, setting the stage for a dramatic and disturbing chain of events.
In the summer of 2018, Isaac Kappy's life took a shocking turn, one that played out in full view on social media. It began on July 22, 2018. Isaac went on Twitter, aka X now, and posted some shocking claims. Isaac's first tweet stated, and we quote,
"Last year, I was asked to join the Illuminati by Seth Green. The offer was $250K a year and any car I wanted, as if I would abuse children for such a paltry sum. Crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji, crying, laughing emoji." And we have a photo of that tweet that we'll post up right here.
Now, like we mentioned earlier, Seth Green is an American actor, voice artist, comedian, producer, writer, and director. He has been in a ton of films and TV shows and has earned a lot of awards in the entertainment industry. He is very well connected and rubs shoulders with pretty much every A-list celebrity.
Also, Seth and Isaac Kappy were very good friends at the time. So for Isaac to post this claim about his friend Seth Green, it was kind of odd. Some people were like, oh, maybe Isaac was just joking around. However, what happened next let people know that Isaac was not joking around.
That same day, Isaac continued to tweet out more bizarre claims. For example, the next tweet from Isaac said,
"Hey, at James Gunn," so he tagged James Gunn, "you know how I know you're a pedophile? Because your friends are pedos too, like Lloyd Kaufman, Seth Green, Claire Grant, and many more. There has been ample time to come clean, and yet I watch you just lie and lie and lie." And that is what the tweet said.
Which, by the way, if you don't know who James Gunn is, he's an American filmmaker, producer, screenwriter, musician, and co-CEO of DC Studios. He's known for directing the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise for Marvel and the Suicide Squad for DC.
And the other person that is mentioned, Lloyd Kaufman, he is an American film director, screenwriter, producer, and actor. He is the co-founder of Troma Entertainment Film Studio and has directed many of their feature films.
And then the last person he mentioned in that tweet was Claire Grant. She is the wife of Seth Green and an actress, model, and producer.
So that is what he claimed in that second tweet. And he did not stop there, because Isaac Kappy posted another tweet that said,
"At some point, someone has to tell the truth. And trust me, I don't want to be the one, but you just keep lying and lying. It's funny watching the media bend over backwards to defend quote unquote jokes about fucking kids. We all know you fired the real Roseanne over one bad joke, yet tried to excuse a 10,000K tweet at James Gunn."
so that's what he said towards James Gunn, that you made a bad tweet about intercourse with kids. But,
And then you fired Roseanne after she made one bad joke.
yeah. So after that, Isaac Kappy continued to post more stuff, and he made another tweet. And in this one, he tagged the actor Macaulay Culkin. And in this tweet, Isaac says, "I know you were abused as a child. It's fucking awful. Please help the world and tell them." And that's what he said to Macaulay Culkin, who is a famous child actor.
The one in Home Alone.
Yep.
After that, Isaac made another post and tagged Paris Jackson, who is the daughter of Michael Jackson. In this tweet, he said, "Remember that party last summer? Why did a child show up asking for Seth? Who was that little black boy?"
Oh.
End tweet.
So those were some of the tweets that Isaac Kappy posted on July 22nd, 2018. And I mean, they were some pretty crazy claims, right? Especially since Isaac had rubbed shoulders with all of those individuals. But it only gets stranger.
It was July 22nd, 2018, whenever Isaac posted these claims on Twitter. While on that same day, only a few hours later, he went to San Diego Comic-Con. And at this Comic-Con, Isaac decided to do a live stream on the platform called Periscope.
Now, during this live stream, he backed up his claims that he made on Twitter about Seth Green and many more individuals being pedophiles and how Hollywood is controlled by them.
Now, we do have the video of that live stream, and we were going to watch it. However, there is music in the background, and if we play it on YouTube, then they will do a copy strike on us.
Copyright strike, yeah, they'll strike us down.
So instead, we have a transcript of the first 60 seconds of the video, and we are going to read it off. However, if you want, you can go to our website, theoriesofthirdkind.com, click on today's episode, and there will be a link to the video on there. So if you want to watch it, you can click it there.
But like Dan said, we're just going to go over the first 60 seconds. So in this video, Isaac Kappy goes live on Periscope, the platform, and he states, "Okay, what's up? I'm back and back now on Periscope. If you're just joining me, I said some crazy shit on Twitter, and it's true. Not something I want to say, but I'm fucking tired of people lying. I watch these people just lie and lie and lie and lie, and they will never tell the fucking truth. I'm going after you, Seth Green. Sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I never wanted to do this, but you're a pedophile. The world is changing. We're entering into a new era for mankind. It's going to be hard for people. Oh, it was hard for me. I had my heart broken into a million pieces. Because when you trust someone and and they just lie and they abuse and they fucking rape kids, not cool. Like, it's heartbreaking." So that's what he said in the first 60 seconds of that live stream. And like Dan stated, we have that full video on our website. So if you want to go watch it, you can go to our website, Theories of the Third Kind, click on today's episode, and the link to that video will be right there for you to watch it.
So after that, Isaac continues on with his claims on Twitter, stating that Seth Green and his wife Claire had confided in him about being into children. Isaac also stated that one night Seth allegedly invited him to have a conversation about chicken, which Isaac took as code word for sex with minors. So we had pizza, now it's chicken.
Chicken, that's the first time I've heard chicken being referenced to children. I've heard pizza, but not chicken. And pasta.
But
yeah,
chicken. Don't ruin chicken for me.
Yeah. All right. So over the next few days, Isaac Kappy made a few more tweets, again backing up his previous claims and even making newer claims. Now, we have a few of those tweets that we're going to go over. And the first one that we're going to talk about, he posted on July 23rd, 2018, the day after he made his first tweet. So this post says,
"People are talking a lot about pedophile jokes. The craziest joke I ever heard was when Seth turned to me and said, 'This is where we keep the children.' as he was pulling back a secret bookshelf that revealed a hidden room at his Malibu house.
It's very weird.
It
A
is.
secret bookshelf where he hides his kids in a hidden room.
This was on July 23rd.
Yeah. July 23rd.
Oh, that's July 23rd. He posted that, but this happened in the past.
Yep. Now, on that same day, Isaac made another tweet that said, "I am not suicidal. I feel great." And then 2 days later, on July 25th, 2018, Isaac made another tweet that said, "In light of the interesting traffic happening around my house, I want to make something very clear. While I'm a very strong advocate of peaceful disclosure, make no mistake, assets are in place, and if you try to kill me or even try, it will rain 50 cows in the Hollywood Hills." And that's the end of that tweet. So pretty much he's saying that he's seen some weird cars driving around his home, and he's starting to assume that these vehicles are there for him, and that he's starting to get suspicious and paranoid about something happening to him based upon the claims that he's making.
Then the next day, on July 26th, Isaac tweeted, "I love life. I am not suicidal. I do not use opioids. I do not own a red scarf. I won't be getting inebriated. I like to move it. Move it."
So those bombshell claims were only the beginning. Over the next few months, Isaac began naming a long list of Hollywood figures whom he accused of horrific crimes.
On live streams and tweets, Isaac called out Oscar-winning director Steven Spielberg, beloved actor Tom Hanks, comedian Patton Oswalt, filmmaker James Gunn, and many others as part of a hidden pedophile ring.
Isaac also claimed that Steven Spielberg, who is one of Hollywood's biggest icons, was a predator, and that it was common knowledge in the industry that he was a pedophile.
Another claim Isaac made is that the higher up you go in the elitist hierarchy, the more sick the people are. According to Isaac, pedophilia is only the beginning. The next step up is murder, which is the level politicians are at. Then after that, the next level is where individuals get into cannibalism, and some of the top families in the world are into cannibalism, like the Rothschilds, for example.
Yeah, those are some weird claims. I can see that, though. You ever see some of them Rothschilds, man? They got really long, elongated heads. They look like reptilians.
It was a Rockefeller that got ate by the cannibals, right? Not a
Michael
Rothschild.
Rockefeller.
Yeah.
Also, Isaac claimed that parents of child actors are aware of this, and it is a form of child trafficking that the parents take part in. Most people have a hard time believing this because, according to Isaac, people are generally good and want to believe everyone else is doing good as well. But that is not the case. It's a sick, dark world.
Now, as days and weeks passed, Isaac got more attention. He was this relatively unknown actor, openly accusing powerful Hollywood figures of the most heinous crimes. Well, Alex Jones ended up hearing about this and decided to invite Isaac Kappy on to InfoWars, his podcast show.
Yep. And if you don't know who Alex Jones is, he runs a radio and live stream show called InfoWars, where he discusses conspiracies and other things. And he claims to uncover the truth about cover-ups and other stuff.
And he's Aaron's uncle.
No, he's not my uncle.
We used to
No.
call him Uncle Alex.
Yeah, Uncle Alex. Oh, man. But yeah, he used to be incredibly popular in 2017. And then he's kind of like fallen off a little bit because of the Sandy Hook stuff. So yeah.
In August of 2018, Isaac went on the Alex Jones show, InfoWars. And during that show, Isaac calmly rattled off his claims of having seen Hollywood's dark side. He stated that he has seen the blackmail material on a lot of really big people who are known worldwide, and that A-list actors and directors were caught on film doing unspeakable things.
And it would be at this point that Alex Jones told Isaac, and we quote, "Do not name specific people without proof. Doing so would be inviting lawsuits or something worse." End quote. And that's what Alex told Isaac.
Now, after that, Alex questioned the credibility of some of Isaac's claims. This pissed off Isaac, and he would leave the show and state that Alex Jones was gaslighting him and stopping him from spreading the truth.
And believe it or not, this would only make Isaac more popular and be seen as more credible in the community that kind of listened to the InfoWars. However, in mainstream Hollywood and in law enforcement, Isaac's claims were seen as alarming and dangerous.
Because that same month, in August of 2018, the Los Angeles Police Department opened an investigation into Isaac Kappy's behavior. Word of this got out, and individuals began to ask the police why they were investigating Isaac, that he was just uncovering the truth about Hollywood, and the police should be investigating that instead.
Yeah, that's what the people were telling the police officers, that, why are you investigating Isaac? He's just uncovering the truth in Hollywood. So the police responded and confirmed that they were investigating Isaac Kappy for, and we quote, alleged harassment and stalking of Seth Green and his wife, Claire Grant. Also, at that same time, Paris Jackson, who is the daughter of Michael Jackson, she had obtained a restraining order on Isaac. And at that same time, Seth Green distanced himself as far as possible from his former friend.
Following that, Isaac wrote a handwritten letter to Seth, not to apologize, but to inform him. And in the letter, Isaac stated,
please know I wouldn't do anything to harm you, but I have implemented a series of triggering events should I meet an untimely demise. I didn't want to have to set it up, but everyone I've ever loved has done horrible things to me, and I want to remain alive. End quote.
So basically, in this letter, Isaac hinted that if he were killed, damning evidence would be released as retribution, pretty much a dead man's switch.
Now, another thing worth mentioning is that Seth Green never responded publicly to the letter or any of Isaac's claims. However, a representative of his stated that the claims made against him and his family were vile and untrue.
So over the next few months, Isaac doubled down with his accusations, and his ties to Hollywood were forever severed. He live-streamed constantly, branding himself as a crusader, and the more pushback he received from the mainstream media, the louder he became.
Isaac claimed that dark forces were at work and he would not be silenced. However, as 2019 arrived, many feared that his story would not end well, which it did not.
Fast forward to May 10th of 2019. On this day, Isaac would post a video that was almost an hour and a half long.
In this video, he clearly states that this would be the last video that he was going to make, and it was going to be very painful for everyone. He also says that he spent the last 3 years finding the darkness in the world and uncovering it.
Now, we do have this entire video, and we are going to watch just a little bit of it. However, just like the previous video, if YouTube becomes a hoe and copyright strike for using it, then we will remove this part of the episode, and you can go to our website and find the link to the video there. So we're actually going to watch the video right now.
This will likely be my last broadcast, and it's going to be painful for all of you. It's going to be very painful, and I'm sorry. I've spent the last 3 years enmeshed in finding the darkness in the world and uncovering the darkness in the world, but not enough time uncovering the darkness within me. And the dog said too, I made a really stupid, cynical, petty, stupid decision this week. And I did it in the blink of an eye. And with as much time as I've spent trying to mitigate risk, and there were a lot of people that I kept out of my life that I wanted in my life, but I didn't want to bring harm to them because of all the Illuminati shit. And this struggle against darkness, consumed me. It consumed me. Yeah, I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy. I let the darkness consume me. And I I didn't spend enough time nurturing the light and love within me.
That right there was the first few minutes of the video. But like we said, we will post a link to the video so you can watch the entire thing yourself.
So that video itself is almost an hour and a half long. And in the video, Isaac goes on to say that he did a disservice to God, America, and to a lot of his people. But it didn't involve hurting children or harming children, and that he didn't murder anyone. Also, he wasn't being threatened. But he was persuaded into doing it, though, and it was him selling out, and he felt like he was a traitor.
Now, in the video, there are a lot of other things that he gets into. However, something that we did want to mention is that while listening to this video, you can hear a dog in the background whining. Also, Isaac keeps looking off camera as if someone is in the room with him. And this video is nothing like any of the other videos that he posted before.
No, he's very shaken and just kind of off. Also, something else worth mentioning is that during the video itself, he has a chat up, and in the chat, someone states, "Blink twice if you're doing this under duress." And you can clearly see Isaac look at the chat, read the comment of someone saying, "Blink twice if you're under duress." He doesn't read it out loud, but you can see him look, kind of mouth it a little bit, and then he immediately looks at the camera and blinks twice. So that's in the video itself as well. It's very odd.
When I start to hear that, I start to think, if there's somebody in the room with them, don't they see that chat too?
Well, not if the chat is facing him and they're standing on the other side and watching him, making sure that he follows and says what they want him to say.
Well, they can pull up the chat themselves too.
Yeah, true.
Because, say you stream on Twitch or something on OBS, you have the chat, you have the other chat here, and all that. So it's I figure someone would be watching to make sure it's going smoothly and all that. And if someone sees blink twice and they see him blink twice, that would cut it off before you do it. That's what I would think, at least.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like we said, it's a weird video. We have a link to it on our website if you want to watch the entire thing.
All right. So now we are going to fast forward 3 days later to May 13th, 2019. So on that morning of May 13th, drivers on Interstate 40 in northern Arizona were met with a horrifying sight.
A man had jumped from an overpass bridge and been struck by a truck on the highway below. State troopers responded to the emergency and found the man's body at the scene. The authorities cleaned up the area, packed the body up into an ambulance, and then made an announcement.
Officials stated that around 7:30 a.m., 2 motorists spotted a man standing on the Transwestern Road Bridge. The 2 motorists stopped, got out of their vehicles, and sensed that something was off with the man who was standing on the edge of the bridge.
They actually tried to physically restrain the man from jumping, grabbing hold of him, pleading with him not to jump. However, the man broke free from their grasp and in an instant plummeted from the overpass down onto the highway below and into the path of a moving pickup truck that struck him.
The man died on impact, and he has been identified as 42-year-old Isaac Kappy.
The Department of Public Safety spokesman ended the announcement by saying that the case was being treated as a suicide with no signs of foul play. Soon after that announcement, authorities closed the case, finding no indication of any criminal involvement in Isaac Kappy's death.
Now, the news of Isaac's sudden and violent death made headlines worldwide. The media painted him as a washed-up Hollywood D-list actor who went crazy. And the media also pointed to his claims that he made a year prior as one of the signs of him going crazy, and that what he was claiming was all made up and fake. That's how the media portrayed him.
However, what unfolded next with his dead man switch would only add to the legitimacy of his claims and make people question what really happened to him.
And that right there is the life and death of Isaac Kappy. However, just like every week, we are now going to get into the strange facts and findings that we uncovered while researching today's episode, which we get into a lot of weird things. So Dan, can you start that off for us and tell us about our first strange fact and finding?
Of course. So our first strange fact and finding is about Isaac's dead man switch. So Isaac made an assload of videos, and in one of those videos, he claimed that he had a dead man switch, and that he was going to use it if whoever they are decided to come after him. Well, after Isaac died, a video was uploaded to his social media accounts.
And if you don't know what a dead man switch is, it's pretty much a insurance kinda. So if you have some damning evidence against somebody, you will create a dead man switch. Like you have to log into something or you have to check into something. And if you don't after like 24 hours, then that insurance, whether it be a file, a video, or whatever, gets sent out to the public. So the people use it as like a way to keep themselves alive by saying, hey, if I die, then this dead man switch is going to go off and all of this information I have is going to spill out. And that is what supposedly happened with Isaac Kappy. Like Dan said, after he died, a video was uploaded to his social media accounts. And this video was apparently his dead man switch. It is a 14-second video, and the video is taken from a cell phone, and it is inside of what looks like a Turkish-style bathhouse.
Now, inside this bathhouse, there is a raised platform in the middle of this building that the individual is inside. And there are multiple young girls around the ages of 7 to 10 years old, all of them wearing bathing suits, and they are walking around in this bathhouse pouring water onto a raised platform that is in the middle. It is very odd and very creepy.
Now, we do have that video, and we are going to roll the dice and actually watch it. However, if YouTube slaps us with anything, then we will pull this part of the video and post a link of it on our website, theoriesofthethirdkind.com, and you can watch the video there. So we're going to watch this video right now. So there you can see the raised platform. You can see 4 younger girls in bathing suits walking around, and then they go to this thing and get more water, and they pour it on the platform. And that is the video. So yeah, very weird and creepy. 100% those girls are underage, no doubt about it. And they are wearing bathing suits, and it looks like some sort of temple.
They are wearing matching bathing suits.
Yeah, they're like traveling in pairs.
Yeah. Interesting. But creepy. So like we said, when Isaac Kappy died, this video was posted to his social media accounts and then taken down. However, some individuals were able to save it before it was taken down.
And that's how we were able to get a hold of it. Now, I did some digging into this video, and I went down a deep, deep rabbit hole. And do you want to hear what I found, Dan?
I do.
All right. Well, hang on, because this gets very odd. So I ended up looking around to try to find this Turkish bathhouse. That's what our guess was, is that it was Turkish, and we were correct. We found the Turkish bathhouse, and it shows the bathhouse itself, and it is part of a hotel chain, which is called Land of Legends Kingdom. So here's a photograph of that TripAdvisor where you can clearly see that 1000% is the area where the Dead Man Switch video was taken. So that is part of the Land of Legends Kingdom, like I said. And the Land of Legends Kingdom is an amusement park and water park in Turkey. It contains a shopping mall and a hotel within the park, and it is the largest theme park in Turkey. Now, this theme park was founded by Rixos World Parks and Entertainment in 2016. And in 2017, it was awarded Europe's Best Theme Park in the World Travel Awards. On March 1st, 2025, so earlier this year, the park opened an expansion that includes a Nickelodeon-themed hotel and a Nickelodeon land area themed to SpongeBob SquarePants, Paw Patrol, and Star Trek Prodigy. There is also a spa and other entertainment within the park, and that is according to the website itself. It states that. And here's the website itself, Land of Legends, and you can see the hotels, the Nickelodeon Hotel, and all those other ones. Very weird. So Rixos World Parks is the company that owns this Land of Legends Kingdom, where the spa is located at. That was where the video of the girls were taken. That was Isaac Kappy's Dead Man Switch. Now, the founder and chairman of Rixos is an individual named Feta Taminje. And here he is right here, photograph of him. And he clearly states that he, is the founder and chairman of those hotels. And you're probably wondering, why do I mention this? Well, I came across an article from 2017 about another individual named Tafik Arif. And in this article, it talks about how in June of 2005, Tafik Arif celebrated his birthday at the grand opening of Turkey's most luxurious hotel, the 7-star Rixos Premium Hotel. The article states that guests came from all over the world, from America, Latvia, St. Petersburg, Israel, Ukraine, and other places. Attendees included Russian businessmen and billionaires who sailed in by yacht or flew in by private jets. It also talks about Donald Trump partnering up with Tafik Arif's new company and how the Prime Minister of Turkey and other future presidents visited him. Now, the important part of this article that I want to talk about is a few paragraphs down. It says, Turkey has been good to Tafik Arif. It became Arif's home after he left Pakistan in 1994. Arif obtained a Turkish passport that same year and went into business with Feta Taminje, the founder of Rixos hotel chain. The two men partnered in 1999 to build a hotel in Turkey. Then Arif expanded his business in New York. I have that article right there, so everybody can confirm that is exactly what it states. And if you remember, Feta, who is the individual we talked about earlier, the one who founded and owns Rixos hotel chain that has the Turkish bathhouse featured in Isaac Kappy's Dead Man Switch. And I dug around into Tafik Arif, the guy who partnered with the founder of the Rixos hotel chain, and I found a very interesting article about him. So this article was posted in 2012, and it states, businessman Tafik Arif denies sex party allegations. A businessman has denied charges that he financed a sex party on one of the world's largest yachts. Tafik Arif went on trial with 9 others in the Turkish Mediterranean city of Antalya. Charges against the suspects include people smuggling and encouraging prostitution. Turkey deported 9 Russian and Ukrainian women, including 2 under the legal age of consent, after authorities said they broke a prostitution ring aboard the Sararona in September, which that's the largest yacht in the world. Now, authorities said the yacht, once used by Mustafa Kemal Ataturk, the founder of modern-day Turkey, will be turned into a museum. The agency reported that the indictment alleges that Arif bankrolled this sex party aboard this large yacht. He is someone who paid for all the fees for the women. The agencies and the men in the middle are the transfer of foreigners involved. The indictment said the businessman who said he had partnerships in the United States, Britain, and Turkey has denied all the charges. He said that I'm not accepting any of these charges. All of these are imagery. And then after that, what do you know? In April of 2011, he was acquitted of all the charges and they were dropped. It's kind of odd how a giant prostitution ring was discovered and he was the one who bankrolled it all. And there was underage women, basically kids there.
From Russia and Ukraine.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, all the charges against him dropped. And he was the one that went into partnership and helped build that hotel where the Dead Man Switch was taken. But yeah, that is our first strange fact and finding. The Dead Man Switch. Very odd.
That is definitely new information that we didn't know about. Man.
All right, so let's get into our next strange fact and finding, which is even more odd.
Our next strange fact and finding is about an individual named Tracy and her investigation into Isaac Kappy, then a Turkish campground near where Isaac died, and then how Tracy ended up being stalked.
So Tracy Twyman is an American nonfiction author that was born on August 28th, 1978 in Kansas City, Missouri. And besides being an author, Tracy also was an independent investigator that mainly concentrated on things involving occults and esoteric history.
In 2018, Tracy heard about Isaac Kappy's claims about pedophilia in Hollywood. She decided to contact him to gather additional information, and then afterwards began her own independent research into the claims.
Even after Kappy died in May of 2019, Tracy continued to research into his claims. And as she continued her research, she started to become more and more concerned with what she was finding, and she decided to contact the FBI and give them all of her information that she had found. However, they showed no interest in what she had and basically brushed her off.
Shortly after that, Tracy began experiencing weird things happening to her computers. Like she would be using her laptop to chat with people about her investigation into Kappy's claims, and then all of a sudden her laptop would be taken over and crash.
Also, Tracy started to get death threats from individuals claiming that they knew where she lived. The threats also stated that they knew where her son lived as well and what school he went to.
Now, Tracy decided to reach out to a friend of hers and explain what was going on. This friend, who is usually level-headed, responded with something very odd. The friend tried to convince Tracy that a demon was summoned by CERN in Switzerland, and it got into AI computers and was part of this virus network, which invaded her computers. Of course, Tracy thought that was absolutely bonkers and didn't believe her friend.
However, Tracy did say that she truly believed that after she started investigating Isaac Kappy's claims, that she began being surveillanced 24/7 by some weird group of individuals. Due to this, on May 24th, 2019, Tracy decided to make a video, which she ended up giving that video to just 2 of her friends for safekeeping in case something happened to her, kind of like a dead man switch video.
Well, this video she made, it was posted online, and in the video she talks about her investigation into Isaac Kappy's claims and the threats that have been made against her. Also, Tracy talks about how she suspects her computers were being hacked and connections between her own case and that of Isaac's.
Now, the biggest and weirdest thing that she mentions in the video is about a campground. Tracy states that she found a campground in Arizona and she was able to connect it to the death of Isaac Kappy.
Now, we were able to get our hands on some screenshots of the messages that she sent to one of her friends about this campground. And of course, we will include those screenshots for everyone to take a look at. So we're going to go look at those right now. So Aaron, do you want to start off by reading some of these messages that Tracy sent?
Yes. So in these messages, she was talking to her friend Steve. And these messages are actually from Steve. So it's him receiving these messages from Tracy. And he ended up posting these after what happened to her. So this first message was to Steve, and it was from Tracy on May 24th, 2019. She said, "Hey, Steve, I just tried to send you a message through Twitter, but I don't see it listed under sent messages. Did you get it? Thanks." It was a link to this video, which I made to show just you and one other person. And then she states that the video, it's about a person who owns a private campground in Williams, Arizona, right where Kappy was just before he died. This person sent me many messages threatening me and my son after I exposed a bunch of child traffickers on YouTube. He also took credit for having hacked my computer and online accounts and accurately described in these public confessions how he did it. I am still afraid of him and his friends, which is why I don't want to talk in public. Everything that I experienced during these attacks last year matches up with what happened to Kappy before his death. And I had already told Kappy about these people in Williams. I think he might have gone out there to investigate it, or they brought him to that area because they knew they could get away with murdering him out there. And she sent that message on May 25th, and then she sent another one just a few minutes later, which said,
"Last Tuesday, the campground was listed as permanently closed all of a sudden, which seems an extraordinary coincidence to me. I've gathered evidence that something very bad was going on out there. From the Twitter feed I looked at, it appeared that a large percentage of the people who went out there to camp were Turks. Why would dozens of businessmen from Turkey be going out to the middle of the desert in Arizona to camp? At a campground that, according to the reviews, was rather shitty, and according to one reviewer, they were chased away by the owner wielding a gun and threatening to murder them.
Tracy then sent an additional message saying, there is a mind control aspect to this. The campground owner boasted of his abilities in this department. It would explain a lot about Kappy's actions in the end. Anyway, I'll leave you to absorb this. And then she sends him a message that is of the Greenleaf Canyon campground. And it said the campground is shown on the map above. Their office was listed as being in Williams. I've got an unlisted video that I managed to find where the host is explaining how to find the unmarked dirt road that leads out to where the campground is. Someone should go out there with the cadaver dogs. And then Steve responded and said,
wow, there's a lot of freaky stuff in the area like the ORO Ranch. Want me to publish this as an anonymous tip? Seems very pertinent.
And then Tracy responded with, it is pertinent, but I am afraid to have it published. The second wave of threats to my family, the ones posted on Facebook, came after I mentioned the first wave on an audio recording posted on my own website, which I'm sure has considerably less traffic than yours. I have no protection here. They know where I live, as they've proven in their messages to me. Someone was even sent to my house a few months ago to deliver a message to me personally. If information about them all of a sudden went public again, they are likely to know that I am behind it. I honestly don't know what to do with the information. So I just decided to show it to a couple of people who are also gathering evidence on this subject. But thank you very much for reviewing it. I'm going to look into this ranch you mentioned. So that's what she claims. And then after that, she talks about a tweet that she deleted. And then Steve responds with, okay, great research. It's a shame that you're backing away. Thanks for the heads up. And then she sends another message on June 4th that basically is like, I've come up with a lot of analysis on the subject, but in the practical sense, it doesn't seem helpful to anyone to talk about it, especially me. It brings more problem. And Steve responded that he was like, sympathetic to the risks and she should make an anonymous account. And that right there was the messages that Tracy sent to her friend Steve. And it is weird because why would there be Turkish businessmen from Turkey going all the way to Arizona just for a crappy campground? And then it was permanently closed, which supposedly Kappy was there prior to his death. And then Kappy posted that dead man switch of the Turkish bathhouse. It's all very weird. What a weird coincidence.
Now, to make things even more odd, a little over a month after Tracy sent that message to her friend about the campsite, tragedy struck. On July 9, 2019, Tracy died. She was found hanged in her garage, and the local police ruled it a suicide. Of course they would.
Yep. That is incredibly odd. All right. So let's move on to our next strange fact and finding, which is about Tom Hanks. Yes, the actor Tom Hanks, who starred in many critically acclaimed films, including Forrest Gump, Apollo 13, Saving Private Ryan, The Green Mile, and many more. Also, he voices Woody in the movie franchise Toy Story. So he's very well known.
Yeah, so needless to say, he is considered an A-list celebrity who seems to be liked by pretty much everyone. However, in early April, Isaac Kappy had posted a video where he claimed that Tom Hanks was a pedophile who was evil and one of the worst people in Hollywood. Now, a lot of people kind of thought that this claim was odd because, everyone loves Tom Hanks.
Also, it's important to note here that Tom Hanks is known to take pictures of random things on the ground and post those pictures on Twitter. Well, only a few days after Isaac made those claims about Tom Hanks, Tom ended up going on Twitter and he made a post, which we have a photograph of that post right here for everyone to take a look at.
So it's a photo of the ground, and the dirt is everywhere. In the dirt is a glove that is slightly covered up. Also, you can see the shadow of Tom as he is taking the photo. And like I said, in the Twitter post, Tom writes, Historic Route 66, roadkill? I hope not. Signed, Hanks, Hanx.
And it is a weird photograph. It's just of a glove with dirt on it. And he says, Historic Route 66, roadkill? I hope not. It's very odd. And why do we mention this tweet from Tom Hanks? What does it have to do with Isaac Kappy? Well, what we do know is that Isaac Kappy died on May 13th, 2019 by supposedly jumping off the Trans-Western Road Bridge onto Interstate 40. Now, that Interstate 40 is also known as the historic Route 66. There's a photograph of the Google Maps for you. Shows Interstate 40, the bridge right there where Kappy jumped off of, and the historic Route 66.
So a lot of people speculate that after Kappy made those claims about Tom Hanks, a few days later, Tom made that Twitter post as a warning to Kappy. However, Kappy didn't stop with his claims, and then a little over a month later, he ended up dying on historic Route 66.
I mean, coincidence? I guess we'll kind of save it for our theory section, but it is very odd.
Honestly, it does start to look kind of like a warning, because I could see it if you take a picture of something like that, you post it and all that. But if you look at the time that it's posted, 10:59 p.m.
Mm-hmm. And he took that photo during the day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, Tom Hanks thought about it, looked at the photo. What can I say about this? And then took a picture or posted it with that saying on a historic Route 66 roadkill. I hope not.
Yeah, and he posted it right after Isaac Kappy made the claims about him. So it's almost kind of like a warning.
Yeah.
Weird. And then Isaac ends up dying right there as roadkill. Ends up getting hit and ran over.
Yeah, technically, yeah. Pretty much.
Fuck. All right. So let's move on to our next strange fact and finding, which is about a woman named Sarah. So as we were digging into Tom Hanks, we came across a woman named Sarah Ruth Ashcraft.
Now, Sarah has a Twitter and a Facebook account and describes herself on both as survivor or ritual abuse, mind control, child and sex trafficking, philosopher by education, truth warrior.
And I think she meant survivor of ritual abuse, not survivor or ritual abuse. It had to have been survivor of ritual abuse, mind control, and child and sex trafficking.
Yeah, it's probably of.
Yeah. So we began looking into Sarah's social media posts, and as we looked deeper, we found something very odd. On November 15th, 2017, she made a post on Twitter that said, and we quote, "I was only 8 years old when I encountered Hillary Clinton as part of an occult ritual abuse event. I'm now 36. It never goes away. As a fellow survivor, I see you. I believe you. I stand with you to say #ItEndsNow." That's a very odd post to make.
A very big accusation.
Yes, and it only gets even bigger.
So what does that have to do with Tom Hanks? Well, Sarah made a post about him as well, and she said in this post, "This is me at 13, the age I was when Tom Hanks purchased me from my father for sex as a dissociated #mind control doll. I wonder how much he paid. I wonder how much money my father made for breaking my mind and selling my child body throughout my life. Will I ever get to know?" And then it has a picture of her when she was 13.
That's a very big claim, and Tom Hanks has never publicly responded to that claim and has never been charged with anything. Also, I want to make it clear that we are not making any claims about Tom Hanks. We're just reporting on what an individual has stated. Okay? Just want to make that clear.
Yeah, we're just reading what she wrote.
Yeah. All right, Dan, tell us about this next strange fact and finding.
All right, so this next strange fact I'm finding is about an Instagram post. So you all remember how Isaac Kappy posted his last video, May 10th, 2019, 3 days before he died?
Yep.
Well, on May 12th, 2019, the day before he died, a new Instagram account named Isaac Kappy popped up and made one single post on that account.
Now, I want everyone to keep in mind that this Instagram account was not verified at the time. So we do not know for certain if this account was actually Isaac Kappy. However, multiple media outlets reported that this account was actually his and that he was the one that made this post the day before he died. However, that's just their claims. The account was never verified. So, yeah.
Now, we do have a screenshot of the post itself, and we will post it up for everyone to see. Also, the post is pretty long, so we will read over a little bit of it and then summarize the rest. But if you want to read the entire post yourself, then, like we said earlier, you can go to our website and read it there.
Okay, so the post starts off with, "Hello. Over the course of the last week, through introspection that should have happened many years ago, I have come to some stark revelations about my character. It is a testament to my utter arrogance that these revelations have not come sooner. He just goes on in this post about, regretting what he had done and being arrogant. And then he ends the post by saying, "This lesson has come too late for me, but perhaps it can inspire you. I will be using the remainder of my time on earth to atone for my transgressions and to seek the light within in others and myself." And then ends it by saying, July 4th, 2019, Return of the King, return to the light.
So it kind of goes off of that video, or that weird video, because
Kinda.
that he's like, been bad myself, or something like that.
Yeah, it's very similar language, but it's weird that he posted July 4th, 2019 as the date when this was posted May 12th, 2019. Maybe he's saying that's the date of Return of the King, return to the light. It's weird.
It's very weird. So yeah, that was the post on Instagram, and a lot of media outlets pointed to that and used it as the example of him being unstable, and that is why he probably killed himself. But like we said earlier, this Instagram account was never verified, and it only had one post, and it was this post.
Also, one thing that Isaac said in his Twitter posts was that he never abused anyone. And in this Instagram post, it pretty much contradicts that by him saying, "I'm sorry for who I abused." So yeah, needless to say, a lot of people were hesitant to believe that this Instagram post was actually made by Isaac Kappy. Some state that it was actually the media outlets or some other people or group or organization that made it. And then the media outlets used it as a way to point and say, hey, that's him being unstable,
All right. So our last strange fact and finding is about some photographs. So as we were digging around for more information regarding Kappy's death, we stumbled upon some photos. Now, there are a lot of inconsistencies within these photos.
And these photos were posted on archive.org, and they were obtained by a Freedom of Information Act that was requested by an individual named Corey Daniel, alias the Phoenix Enigma. What a cool name. But a lot of these photographs are from the scene of Isaac Kappy's death. It's of the truck that ran him over, his body, a lot of other things that are pretty gruesome. But Corey, the individual who got these photos, he claims that the metadata for these photos of his belongings in the back seat of his car is in Isaac Kappy's belongings. It was dated on May 12th, 2019, and the photo of the trunk was May 12th, 2019 as well, both of them around 5:30 p.m., but Isaac Kappy died on May 13th, 2019. So the metadata of the photos do not match with what the claims are being made. It's very, very weird.
And you know what else I just noticed?
Hmm.
Like, what is your one response? Like, if you hit something,
Slam on the brakes.
slam on the brakes.
Mm-hmm.
There are no tire marks or anything after the hit. The road is super just clean.
The truck just kept going.
The truck just kept going.
It also has that big ass roll bar undercarriage thing.
Yeah, and the fact, no tire marks at all.
There's 54 photos. And we're going to post a link to these photos so everyone can go take a look at them. Very weird. Also, we were able to obtain additional photos of Isaac's body before they removed him from the highway. We are not going to show these photos right now on YouTube because, the video will end up getting taken down. But we will post a link to the photos on our website for anyone who wants to see them. So you can go there, theoriesofthethirdkind.com, click on today's episode, and all of the links to the videos and everything we talked about today will be right there for you to look at. But just a FYI, pretty gruesome. No real reason to look at them, but if you want to, go ahead. I'm not going to tell you what to do.
I kind of laugh at not the photos, but the count that's made to upload it to archive.org, even though it was by Corey Daniels that got the Freedom of Information Act.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read the name of the account? It kept bothering me because every time I switched tabs, I would see Internet Archive gay.
Gay? Just G-A-Y?
Yeah. Then I switched over and looked at the account name. They were all uploaded by gay Gay dolphin.
Hey, gay's in, gay's hot, gay's the new
Gay dolphin, man.
thing. Yeah.
I just kept seeing like Internet Archive gay. I'm like that doesn't seem right.
Mm.
Gay dolphin is who uploaded on Internet Archive.
Well, thank you for those photographs, Gay Dolphin. All right. So that is the end of our strange facts and findings. Now we are going to get into the theories surrounding Isaac Kappy and his death.
So our first theory is called suicide after mental breakdown. Now, this theory is the official explanation that was given by the media. It states that Isaac Kappy had a mental health crisis. It was worsened by substance use, paranoia, and that caused him to take his own life. Supporters of this theory point to the final Instagram post that he made the day prior, saying that in that post, Isaac admitted to past mistakes, said he had hurt people he loved, and declared, "I'm not a good guy." He also said that he was storming to the other side and said he didn't have any more good left to do in this world. Kappy was overwhelmed by the weight of his own accusations, the backlash online, and isolation. His erratic live streams, paranoid statements, and escalating rhetoric suggest he may have suffered a breakdown that culminated in suicide.
That's the official account and the first theory we have, suicide after mental breakdown.
But that's using the unverified Instagram account that has that one post.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about our next theory, which is called murdered by the elites. So this theory states that Kappy did not commit suicide, but instead the Hollywood elites were upset with Isaac naming them in his videos. They tried to silence him. However, they decided enough was enough, and they killed him by throwing him off a bridge, staging his death as a suicide. Supporters of this theory point to the inconsistencies in the photos from police, the suddenness of his death, and the fact that he had previously said that he was not suicidal.
So that means they should have questioned the two people that tried to stop him.
Yeah, supposedly they were college-aged kids, but they never released their names.
I mean, he was going after some of the Hollywood elites, naming them and making accusations. But this next theory is called witness protection or faked death. This theory states that Isaac Kappy didn't really die, but instead was placed into witness protection after he exposed dangerous individuals. Supporters of this theory state that Kappy went to the FBI and said, "Look, I got all this valuable information. I know I could prove all of this stuff to y'all." And then the FBI then tells him,
"Well, you are an accomplice in it. You were sitting right there while these Hollywood elites were doing these things, and you didn't say anything, right? So you're just as much as a part of it as they are. However, we are willing to make a deal. If you really are in fear of your life, we will put you in a witness protection program and we will fake your death. But you have to give us all the information that you have about these pedophile rings and whatever else these Hollywood elites are into."
and according to this theory, that is what Kappy did. He gave the FBI all the information, they faked his death, and he went into witness protection.
I find that one a little hard to believe.
I find it a little hard to believe, but if I remember correctly, we did look into the photos of his body afterwards, and he did get hit by a vehicle. But I think I remember saying that the body kind of didn't look like him.
It didn't look like him. It doesn't look like him.
Yeah, so I mean, it gives it a little bit of credibility
Yeah.
that he might have faked his death. Was it with the FBI? Don't know, but I mean, you'd have to look at the photos, which they are very gruesome, but it does look very weird. So I don't know. That one has a little credibility, but
Yeah.
it's kind of out there still.
I mean, he could have given all the information to the FBI. The timeline adds up. All right. Let's just hypothesize right quick. He supposedly passed away May 13th. What if he went into witness protection and started giving the FBI all the information? They took that information and started investigating. They find out, oh my God, the main person behind all this is actually Jeffrey Epstein. It gives them time to investigate Jeffrey Epstein. And when does he get arrested? July 6th, 2019. 2 days after Isaac Kappy stated in that Instagram post, if it was from him, he's put July 4th, 2019. 2 days later is when Epstein gets arrested.
Return of the King, return to the light.
Yeah. Now, there is another theory that Kappy was murdered, not by the elites, but by these, well, I guess they would be considered elites, the Turkish people. Stated that he started investigating the claims of pedophile ring in Arizona, that all these businessmen go to this campground, and these businessmen are Turkish, and they talk about their pedophile ring, and he went to investigate it, and he was murdered because of it. And that is what Tracy looked into, and they ended up murdering her as well.
I mean, someone did report that the owner of the Turkish campground chased them off with a gun.
Yes.
So it shows that they might be a little hostile.
Mhm.
And if someone comes around investigating, snooping around and stuff, maybe they did find it a little
Odd.
So, I mean, yeah. That just only makes me think, like, if, say, like, go back to the last theory with the FBI witness protection, why didn't they help Tracy, considering she had all this information too, and Isaac was talking to her? It's like they just left her to
Die.
die.
Maybe she went into witness protection as well. I don't know.
True.
But I'm going to ask you, Dan, out of all of these theories, which one are you sticking with?
It's going to sound like controversial, but then again, not. Just going by the information that we have. It sounded like Isaac Kappy's acting career was starting to slow down. He wasn't getting any gigs, anything like that.
That's a fact. Yes.
And then all of a sudden after that is when he started making these accusations. And he was telling Seth Green, I'm not trying to hurt you and all that stuff, or like trying to make trouble, but the lies have to stop and everything. What if, since Isaac Kappy wasn't getting any more gigs, he was just like, hey, if you don't give me any more gigs, I'm going to start making accusations and shit to throw you out there, to throw you underneath the bus. And that's what he started doing. Just for instance, like, there was no pedophile ring going on or anything like that. But the accusations are now out there. Those accusations can tank someone's career.
Mm-hmm.
This was Isaac's way of trying to get more gigs, to get back into acting, since he wasn't getting anything.
So a way of blackmailing. Kind of.
But then again, I don't think he committed suicide. And I don't think that, I mean, I kind of think maybe the elites did go after him, because they're celebrities. They got a lot of money. They're getting tired of these accusations, and it's just adding more and more people are now being accused. And it's these people that he used to rub shoulders with. And they're just like, we just don't have anything that you would fit for these roles. And they just got tired of them.
Mm-hmm.
Then they probably paid someone to get rid of them.
Okay.
So that's what I could see going on, honestly. So Isaac tried to blackmail people for jobs to get gigs, considering he's just like, oh, I know what goes on behind Hollywood because I was a part of it before. And they pretty much got tired of it and they got rid of him.
Okay.
But then again, the body doesn't look like his to me.
It doesn't. Yeah.
So I don't know. I still think that they probably went after him, or he did go into hiding and they used someone that looked like him. They're just like, this is going to be you, really.
Okay. I can kind of see that. I'm going to have to go a little bit different in what I believe.
How dare you?
So I believe that there is pedophilia going around in the groups in Hollywood. I believe that it's also all around the world. I mean, you just look at the Finders, the 1987, I think it was 87 event that occurred. We did an episode over it, of the giant child trafficking ring that the FBI investigated.
Oh, yeah. I believe that there's a child ring.
Yeah.
Like, that's definitely part of it. Not saying that there's not.
I think Isaac ended up investigating that, looking into it, and got deep into it, found out some things he shouldn't have found out, started to get harassed and stalked like Tracy did, and then was convinced to take his own life. Like, individuals convinced him he was a bad person. He had done bad things, saying, oh, you're investigating us, but you're no better than us.
Narcissistic gaslighting.
Exactly. And that is what caused him to go down his mental spiral and to take his own life. And that's what happened.
Yeah, like I do believe that there's a pedophile. There goes me adding words together again. Child pedophile ring going on. And I think that's part of the blackmailing, is like he did have proof of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think he knew of a way to actually put it together to show it to the public without giving away too much information. Because if you just go all in and they find a way to debunk that, then you're left with nothing. And I think he just had a hard time trying to find that way of releasing the information. So I honestly think he did have more information. It just didn't get released. Like the dead man switch, there's probably more to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I definitely do think there's a child pedophile ring with it. And I could definitely see if there's enough people telling you that you're a bad person, it starts to tear down your mental walls and you start believing like there's this many people saying that I'm a bad person. Am I actually a bad person?
That's why I don't read the comments. You're a dumbass, Aaron. Thanks, guys. I love the support.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad comments, but a lot of good ones too.
Well, if you or a loved one have been sex trafficked in Hollywood, or you are aware of other individuals involved in these heinous crimes, comment down below or send us an email. We would love to hear from you.
That's right.
Also, if you would like, you can call our voicemail phone number, 707-390-0655. You can leave us a voicemail about your experience, and we will feature it on our episode where we cover the voicemails that we have received.
Do it.
So with that being said, I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support and love. Without you, we could not do this.
That's right.
With that being said, Dan, can you roll us out?
Sure will. It's okay to be out of this world with your thoughts.
Because you are not alone.